What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the first ever movie countdown I'm doing on YouTube. First time for everything, so let's just jump right into it. This is my top 5 favorite movies of all time. First, we're going to talk about a little movie made in 1987 called RoboCop. Dead or alive, you're coming with me. I just love saying that sometimes. Just let me be a kid. Alright, reasons why I like this movie. This movie captures the essence of 80s action. It's very satirical. It's directed by Peter Verhoeven, who, from what I understand, grew up in the post-World War II. So there's all this propaganda and things of that nature. So he put a lot of that propaganda in his movies, and the end result is a gory, violent, humorous, not funny, but humorous movie that kind of pokes fun at some of the propaganda and ways things are portrayed in the media. For example, the newscasts that they have in this movie, they talk about, I should know what I'm saying. They push the nonsense to the forefront and push the real issues to the back burner. That sounds eerily similar to what happens in today's media. But all in all, great story. You see the journey of Alex Murphy from regular guy to machine, and then his journey back to humanity. So that's a good thing. That's what I really like about the movie. The journey, the story arc of Alex Murphy, and the overall feel of the movie. Next, we'll bring up another 80s movie called Back to the Future. Now, Back to the Future, I love this movie for a few reasons. One of those reasons is every scene in the movie leads to something else that happens later in the movie. There's no filler, there are no throwaway scenes. Everything you see happens lends itself to something that happens later on in the film. Case in point, Marty's sitting in front of the clock tower with his girlfriend Jennifer. The lady gives him a flyer, save the clock tower, save the clock tower. And he has this flyer. Then, he winds up going back in time. And just so happens that on this flyer, it says, on this day in 1955, the clock tower was struck by lightning. It just so happens they need the power of lightning to get back to the future. But in the words of Doc Brown, you never know when and where lightning is going to strike. So then he pulls out the flyer. Read Doc. It's little things like that. It's the small touches. And that's why I really like that movie. And, every scene is quotable. What the hell is a gigawatt? We don't pronounce gigawatt like that now. Anyway, moving on. We're going to go into the 90s with a movie. This movie, I think y'all know what it is. It's called Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction is another movie I absolutely love. It might be my favorite movie of all time. This movie is so great because the dialogue is exceptional. There's not a point in time where you get bored about what's going on. Every scene is engaging, over the top. I like the little touches Quentin Tarantino put on the movie. Like, the movie is shot out of sequence, so things that happen in the movie later on, it's, okay, I thought this person died, how are they back in the movie? It's little things like that, and then you realize, oh, it's not in sequence. It's told in segments of stories, like little short stories. The cool thing about that is it makes you pay attention a little bit more, and it also has an underlying tone, and I think that underlying tone is redemption. There are a lot of people who, if they seek redemption, they usually get redeemed and live on, but if they choose to reject an opportunity to be redeemed, then, kiss your ass goodbye. And like I said, it's so quotable. One of my favorite scenes is the adrenaline shot when somebody's overdosing on heroin and they have to give an adrenaline shot right in the chest. And he's like, you have to come down in a stabbing motion and right in her heart. And he says, I got to stab her 3 times. No, you don't have to stab her 3 times. It's just little things like that. I love that movie. Samuel Jackson steals the show. It's an incredible movie. Ezekiel 25, verse 17. I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger. he eats it up. One of my favorite movies of all time. Might be my favorite movie of all time. Next, we're gonna go back to the 80s. A lot of good movies in the 80s. Just saying. Raiders of the Lost Ark, or as it has been renamed, Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. I still call it Raiders of the Lost Ark. I love this movie because it's a great adventure movie. It's a throwback to those old serials from the 40s where they would show an episode before an actual movie in the theaters. I think the best thing about this movie is the fact that you have a vulnerable hero. You have a vulnerable hero. It's not some invincible superhero. The stunts are real. They're practical. It's a dirty movie. Indiana Jones gets dirty. Harrison Ford does a great job with his little sense of humor in that movie throughout all of the things that happen to him through this adventure. Great movie, great cast. Steven Spielberg at his finest. Really love this movie. And finally, you know, it has to come full circle. We're going to go back to the 2000s. We're going to go back to current times. The last movie on my list is The Dark Knight. All I can say is Heath Ledger, Christian Bale, knock it out the park. Heath Ledger, probably the best portrayal of the Joker ever in cinema. And the thing about this Batman movie is it's not necessarily a superhero movie. It's a great detective crime drama action movie. It's all these in one, and on top of that, it's Batman. So it's where he actually has to bend the law even more so than Batman normally does. He has to bend the law to get this guy. It means so much to get this guy off the streets that he has to bend and probably break the law to bring this guy down, because the only person who can bring him down is Batman, with a little bit of help from Commissioner Gordon. But that's what makes this so engaging. You know, you lose people. People turn from good to evil. Batman walks the line of ethics while he breaks people's bones. It's just, it brings up a question. Is Batman's presence good for Gotham City? I mean, you had your regular criminals, then Batman comes in, he puts on the bat suit, and then you have these other criminals that try to one-up Batman. Okay, you're going to dress up like a bat. I'm gonna dress up like a clown or court jester and wreak havoc on the city. Not just like a regular mob guy, but I'm gonna draw up things that cause chaos and panic. So it brings up a question, you know, is Batman good for Gotham City? That's not up to me to decide. That's for y'all to talk about. That being said, that's my top 5, y'all. What's your favorite movies? If you have comments, leave them down below. Please subscribe. There's a thing around here somewhere. It'll tell you to subscribe. And thank y'all for watching. Peace out. Holla at you later.